Hi, my name is Raphael. I'm currently studying at UC Berkeley at the Futurist course. And today I'm interviewing an entrepreneur for our midterm. So I'm letting him introduce himself.
Sure. Thanks, Raphael, for the opportunity. So my name is Joseph Aubry. I'm one of the co-founder and the CEO of Loyally, which is a SaaS platform that helps e-commerce brands increase their lifetime value by rewarding their customers for engaging in post-purchase actions, such as repurchases, referrals, reviews, user-generated content, or even social media posts. And so I lead the vision, the strategy, and the go-to-market motion at Loyally.
Okay, nice. I wonder about your background. What factors have led you to start your own venture with Loyally and become an entrepreneur?
So I've always been passionate about starting things from scratch and challenging the status quo. So I studied finance, and as part of a gap year in Australia, I realized how dependent brands were on paid ads for growth and how untapped was the word of mouth coming from their own customers. So I wanted to build a solution that gave power back to the brands and their communities, and the opportunity that I saw behind it pushed me to launch Loyally.
Okay. And if we dig deeper into Loyally, what was the main value proposition of the company? What problem are you solving, and how did you approach it with your own solution?
Yeah. So over the last 5 years, we've seen a really big increase in terms of customer acquisition costs for brands. So brands basically are spending a huge amount of money on acquiring new customers, but very little on keeping or activating them. So what we do is basically helping them turn their customers into brand lovers or advocates by rewarding these 40 plus engagement mechanisms that I described earlier. And I will say that our approach was always to build a very easy to integrate platform that plugs into tools that brands already use, such as Klaviyo or Shopify. And just make it simple for brands to launch next generation loyalty programs and track the results, and to go from a transactional approach to more of a behavioral approach.
Okay, great. And how did you differentiate yourself from the competition in terms of your competitive advantage?
So there is basically 3 elements. The first one is that most loyalty programs only reward customers for purchases. So we reward customers for lots of different ways, post on social, UGC, reviews, etc. So that's the first competitive advantage. The second one is that we use AI and machine learning to help brands orchestrate hyper-personalized journeys after the first purchase. And the third one is that we really combine both of the best worlds, the speed of a plugin and the orchestration capacity of an enterprise-grade solution.
Okay, so three advantages on the competition. And what do you like? What was your business model and go-to-market strategy?
So basically, we are a SaaS business, software as a service, so we break revenue with different tiers based on features and usage. And in terms of go-to-market strategy, we have 2 types of targets: SMBs on one hand and mid-markets on another hand. So for the first segment, we developed a product-led growth motion. So it's basically allowing them to self-onboard on the platform after free trial, etc. And for the second segment, the mid-market one, we more have a traditional sales-led growth approach, supported by outbound prospecting, agency partnerships, events, etc. We mostly focus on brands that are our ICP, which is repeatable business, such as beauty, fashion, health, etc., etc.
Okay, and it's a success because you have many clients. What do you think made the difference, and are the 2 factors that makes the success of Loyally?
Sorry, I think I didn't get the last.
Yeah, if you had to talk about 2 things that make Loyally successful, what would it be?
So I think there is 2 factors. The first one is really customer obsession. So we spent a lot of time listening to merchants, iterating on the products, co-building features with our first clients. And the second aspect, I would say, is really the execution speed. So we did things manually before we scaled them. So when we scaled them, we were sure that it was working, and we moved fast and broke things from product release to international expansion. And I will say that those two elements helped us stay away from the competition and just deliver much faster than they did, even if it came with some bugs or things like that. But at least we were making progress.
Yeah, of course. And last, like, what are the lessons that you have learned as an entrepreneur, and what do you think is the hardest part or thing of being an entrepreneur?
So for the lessons I've learned, and that are particularly relevant for us, I would say the first one is really to not wait to be ready before we do something. So it's better to start before you're ready, sell something before it even exists. So, sell on the idea rather than on a finished product, and iterate on that basis. Second is really to keep a link with the market constantly. So really to talk to users every day, because product market fit is really a moving target. So it's important to really stay in touch with the market. Obviously, to surround yourself with people which are smarter than you. And also, last one, I would say, to delegate as much as possible, as soon as possible. But to delegate doesn't mean that you don't need to control the results of the execution. So it's important to delegate, but to control. And last but not least, it's important to fall in love with the problem rather than the solution, and with problems in general, because you're gonna get a ton of them.
That was a great insight, Joseph. Thank you.
And regarding your last question about the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur, for me, I would say it's really the emotional roller coaster, because one day you're gonna sign a client, next day the big one is gonna churn. So it's really about managing your energy while leading the team, driving growth, and I think it's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur. So it's better to be a little bit mentally prepared for that.
Okay, so the mental part is key.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks, Joseph, for taking the time for the interview. It was a pleasure, and I hope the audience will learn a lot.
I hope so. Let me know.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.